I got this bag of pocket knives that I've collected over the years that I haven't gone through it in quite a while, so I thought maybe I'd just make a video just showing the different knives in here. I'm not going to go over each one too extensively, just maybe talk a little bit about them, but just I was just wanting to basically see what I had in here. These are all folding pocket knives in here. I'm sorry about any background noise or anything. I can't really control it because I'm outside today because it's like 1,000,000 degrees out, so I figured I'd just sit outside and go through them. So if you want to see what I've got here, just stick around for a bit. So there's nothing too spectacular or fancy in here. It's just your basic pocket knives. Let's see, this one here is I guess the thing has rubbed off here, but it's a Bear Gillis pocket knife. It's like one of the worst pocket knives. It's made by Gerber, but it's one of the worst knives I think I have. This pin tends to fall out and get loose, and it's like the real cheap plastic grips. The blade doesn't seem to be too bad, and I like the serrations, and for some reason they've jimped it. I mean, they should have just maybe left it and made it a little cheaper of a knife. But the only thing that's good about it is that it's really super light. But I didn't get this one like too long ago. I got it maybe in the last couple of years. It's a Bear Gillis knife. That's all I can say about it. I don't really know what the name of it is. This is a nice one here. It's got the little clip, so you can put it on. You could put it on gear, or you could even put it on like a loop for your belt or something like that. It's not a bad little knife. And the blade just looks like that. It's not a bad little knife. And it's I'm assuming this piece here is aluminum. I don't have a magnet or anything, but I assume aluminum frame, and it's fairly sturdy. There's not any movement in it, so that's a nice little knife there. And this one is a multi-tool. It's like those typical cheap multi-tools. I don't know if it looks like it may have had a sticker on there and with the name on it, but it's not a bad one. I don't know who made it, but it's just your typical Swiss Army knife, cheap, like knockoff one. And it comes in a pouch like this. I mean, you can't have too many of these if you get them cheap enough. And these ones I really like. I've got a few of these. The little Chinese like jackknife ideas here with the brass and the little wooden handles. They're really, for what they were, I mean, they were like practically giving these things away at the surplus stores. I think Frontier is where I got these from, because like whenever you do an order, it's like you just throw one on there because they were so cheap. And they oh, that one's a little harder to come out. But there's your little blade. This is your typical pocket knife. I can't say anything about it, can't complain about it. The little pouch they come in is totally fine for what it is. It's got an actual loop. It's not just like one of these where it's been cut into the leather. And then there's some like markings or something on the rivet here. I don't really know if it really means anything. Like it's on there anyways, you can see it. Sometimes they don't have anything on them. I really like this knife though, these little Chinese knives. And then there's another one, same thing. It has it it has the writing in there on this one. And they all seem to be in really good condition. I mean, there's maybe a little bit of wear because they've probably been sitting around since like the 80s or something like that. Let's have a look at this. These are just these kinds of knives like this, when you see they have like a company name on them, like this one is Swift, and I guess these are like promotional type items that they gave away at for employees, or like if they wanted you to buy their stuff, they would give you like promotional items like this. And I've got a few of them. My grandpa had a ton of them. I got them when he passed years ago, and I've got a bunch in here, but they're never super good quality, but they're not garbage either. Like, this is a nice long knife. I don't know why you would need it that long for a pocket knife, but it's kind of nice anyways. And again, it's not too cheap of plastic. So there's this one. This is I actually got this not too long ago. This little Hunt Shield knife here. It was on sale at Canadian Tire. If there's stuff on sale like this, I just pick it up. And this is a well-built knife. It's way heavier than it should be for a pocket knife. It's actually very well built, heavy duty, like the grips on it, and you can swap the pocket clip, I guess. The little timing lock isn't the best. It kind of opens, I think I would say, late, the way it goes on there. But the knife, it sharpens really well. It can be sharpened like fairly sharp, so it's not a bad knife. And this is another multi-tool one, and it's pretty decent. I wish I could give the names, like who made these things, but I don't know, so I can't really speculate. They're all seem to be made in China for the most part. There might be one or two that are like Taiwan ones or something like that, but this is a decent little one. It's nice and light and small. I don't like when they include the little flashlights, because they're basically useless anyways, but they seem to burn out, or like the batteries get in there and they get corroded, and it's kind of useless. I'd rather just not have that and have something else, or just not have it altogether. But that's just me. This came, I think, as a package with like a little mini light also. And this is one of those, the buck knives that Canadian Tire, quite a few times you'll see these on sale at Canadian Tire. They're pretty decent knives. It's nice. It's plastic, but it's not like cheap. Like, it's not like it's gonna break on you. Like, I mean, obviously if you abused it, it could be broken, but you can see the timing. Like right here is the timing where it's supposed to lock the blade open. This one is like perfect. It's right on. And the blade they're super sharp when you get them, and they can be sharpened, and they're a really good deal, because I think these were like under $10. They probably aren't now if they were on sale, but I think it was like $8 or something like that. And it's got the opening here instead of just the little thumb notch, and there's a 311 or something on here on the blade. I don't know what that is, if that's the steel in it, but it's a really good little knife. I highly recommend this knife. This is a good pocket knife, like for everyday carry. Here's one of those, another one of those like the multi-tool Swiss Army knife copies. I don't know if they're all made, like, I don't think it's the same place that just makes a whole bunch of these. They seem to be, like, the plastic is different, the colors are different on them. I don't think it's just one place produces all of these, but they're just copies. And it has the, I don't know what that is, a star with a Q or something like that. But the quality, I don't know, the quality seems to be on par with each other. Again, this is a nice little promotional knife. This is actually really nice. It's all stainless steel. It's a good knife. This one's a little dirty, and I haven't cleaned any of these up or anything. I just threw them in a bag when I got them. So, in this one here, this is actually a military knife. I think it's a British military knife. I don't know if we had them in Canada, the Canadian military ones. Like sometimes you'll see it has a black sort of like plastic, or I don't think it's horn, but plastic sort of like a grip thing on them sometimes, and then sometimes you see them without. I don't think this one ever had the plastic panels on it, and the tip was broken when I got it. You can see it says England on there, but the tip was broken when I got it. I actually found this at school, in the schoolyard, when I was in grade school. It was just laying there, so I picked it up. And this piece here, it's like your can opener thing. Really heavy duty. And this, oh, this is a karambit knife. This one doesn't have any serrations or anything on it. It's just a straight karambit. It says it's stainless steel right here, and then it's got like the G10 sort of fiber grips on it. It's a really good, this one is really good. It could be sharpened, and it actually holds an edge on it. And the timing, again, if you look in there, the timing it's just about perfect. But it's made to be like this, and it's maybe a little bit big, well, for my hand, but nothing's worse than when this ring is too small. So that's this. Like this is decent. I don't, because it says karambit on. Oh, it says Fox Knives there. I highly recommend this if you're looking for a karambit style knife. And this is, oh, I got this at an auction. It's a Roy Rogers knife, like a commemorative one. It's pretty decent. It actually says Novelty Knife Co. on the blade itself, but it's a decent knife. Like, I mean, if you wanted to carry something, if you're really into like Roy Rogers or something, I would carry this. It's not heavy or anything like that, so it's just a good little pocket knife. I'm not sure how long this video is going to go. I'm just going to keep recording, but I might split it up into 2 parts or something like that. But I'm just going to keep flipping through. I don't want to make it too long. This is an interesting knife. It's called a fish knife, but it's actually a folding knife. I can't read the make. It's a stainless steel knife, but it looks like it's made in USA. It's just hard to make out where, but it's decent. These panels, I'm sure, are just cheap plastic, and it is like it's supposed to be a fishing knife. and that. I don't know what these are actually for when they give you these little saws that they can't even be sharpened. Like, I don't know what that's for, if that's for scaling fish or something, because like I don't fish. I like to fish, but I don't fish, and but quite often knives will have that. It's not like really a saw. So anyways, that's this knife here. It's something a little bit different. And this Gerber knife, again, I think I picked it up at Canadian Tire, pretty sure, on sale. Sometimes there's little bits and stuff on the blades because I use them to open packages with, and the tape gets stuck on there. But this is it here. It locks. The lockup is pretty good. It's kind of different than the other ones. It's a decent knife. It isn't too heavy. Like, it's not like the Hunt Shield one. The Hunt Shield one is super heavy, whereas this is a decent little knife. And it's good. I'm assuming, again, aluminum handle. It's a decent knife. Like, when it comes to these big ones, I'm not like this lock here. This piece is super heavy, and I don't know if you want to carry something like this every day. Like, if you were out working or if you were in the field or something, if you want to carry, like, the knife is good, right? But I don't know if the weight is just a little bit too much. But I mean, I say again, the knife seems to be all right. And then this is just like a cheap pocket knife. This cheap plastic. I don't even know where it came from. Actually, the blade, it doesn't have really much wiggle in the blade, which is nice, but the plastic is super cheap. The timing on it, it's not bad, but the only thing that's actually good about it is it has serrations, so you can kind of, like, if you're opening a package, you can cut through stuff fairly nice. But it was like at the checkout or something at Surplus, I think. And again, if it's something super light you want to carry, this is the type of thing that I would just, you know, put in your pocket or whatever. And then these are advertised. I don't know why they have a fish on them. Like, if I'm gonna go fishing, this is the type of knife I would want. I don't think so. Just a keychain knife. They're sort of the same as these Swiss Army knife copy type of things. And then here's another promotional 2002 Salt Lake City, like, commemorative promotional thing from Power Towing. Who knows if they're still in business right now. I'm not sure where 902 area code is. And there's like a fingernail knife, and I guess it's supposed to be a screwdriver or something. In your can opener, in this little tiny little knife. Like, I guess if you kept it in the ashtray of your truck or your car or something, maybe that's what this type of thing is. Like, it's a little bit heavy to put on your keychain. Let's see, here's another one of these little, I don't know if I can get the focus, the public safety. I don't even know. I'll put it on there. I mean, who cares? The number's probably not in service anymore anyways, but it's just like, I don't know what I would call these. They're not the Swiss Army knives. Maybe these are like the Swiss Army keychain knife, I guess I would call these. But it just happens to be white instead of red. Again, another one. This is Saratoga. It's the same thing. They just seem to, the plastic seems to be a different color. Oh, this is a very good knife. This is one of my favorite knives. This is a Cabela's knife. And it's sort of like it's got that, it's not a cleaver point, but I like where it doesn't have the sharp point on it, and it holds a really decent sharp edge on it. It's a really nice knife, and it seems to be just in between that. It's not too heavy type of a thing. Like, you could carry this one as an everyday knife, and then the lockup is like, it's perfect. It might be a tad early, but it's just about perfect. And this is a Cabela's knife. Like, it was just a cheap Cabela's knife. There's nothing really too special about it, but it's made well. It might be one of my, like, maybe I'd say in the top 3 of my favorite knives. I don't know if it's my favorite. And let's see this one here. Oh, this is a Champion knife, so that would have been my grandpa's. It's pretty decent looking, like when they actually took pride in stuff and they wanted to give you something nice. This little pocket knife. Yeah, it does have scissors in. This is kind of weird. It's like a screwdriver, but it is. You think they would have integrated a knife blade into it, but it seems to just be a screwdriver. And there's scissors. Scissors in there. And then your typical nail file and knife. And it's actually made in Germany. I think that's what it says on the blade. Yeah, Germany. So that's a pretty decent knife. And one of these are like classic American sort of folding knives or jackknives. Sometimes these will come in a set. This one here is pretty decent. I'm not sure if that's actual like horn or bone, or if it's just plastic, because some of the older ones will be like real materials on there. I'm not sure if I can even, oh yeah, I could get that out. We can get that one out at least. The blade. It doesn't say where it's made. I'm not going to take it all apart or try and force that out for the video. And this one here, it looks like a cufflink. I don't know what that is, if that's a cufflink or it looks like it's for a tie or something. It may be missing a piece from a keychain. And it's got a little marking on the blade, which is kind of weird. Right here. Not sure what that is. It's a decent little knife. Another one of these. It says Lily on it. I don't know why. Like, maybe it was from a wedding or something and they had these made. Like, that's the type of thing that these little knives are. It's like, this would be like a custom made, mass produced type of thing. And this one is the 44 Magnum knife. It's got, you can see in there, 44 mag Remington. It's supposed to be a Remington case, I guess, with the RP on there. It's actually a decent little knife. And then there's this one. This is like the biggest pocket knife that I have. It's just like massive. Let's see if I go back here. it's a really, it holds a really good edge. Actually, it's not cheap, and then it's got the G10, really decent G10 grips on it. Yeah, it's quite a bit heavier than even the Hunt Shield, but like if you needed a big pocket knife or something, this thing is awesome. This is a really good knife. I don't think it was very expensive either, but it's pretty decent. And then the lockup, again, if you look at the lockup, it's just like perfect in there. And then there's like no play at all, again, with this thing. I really like this one, but it's too heavy for, like, I mean, I guess if you wanted to, you could, but it's too heavy to, as a, like, everyday carry. And then, here's another one of those little, like, I don't know what I would call these things. They're not like keychain knives. They're not like Swiss Army knives. They're like the basic model Swiss Army knife or something. Like, I don't know why you need the cork thing on there. But stainless steel, just cheap little knife. And then it's one of the promotional ones too. This one's kind of neat. I don't know where this came from. I think this was my mom's and it was her father's. I'm not positive. It came from somewhere. Like it's always been around. It's always been in my family that I know of, and it's actually made in Japan. It's kind of a decent little knife, and it's got the little pearl handle there. It's kind of a cool little thing. Oh, I got one in the box. The Dragon Claw 2000. I don't know why it would be the 2000. Because it's that good or something. And this one has like a rubber handle. Almost like tire rubber. Really thick rubber. And this one's not a karambit. This one would be like a hawkbill knife, and then it's got the serrations on there. I don't know if that's the place that makes it or something, but when you get these ones, the blade is, they kind of wobble quite a bit. And then you can see how it's over-timed, like it's early, and it's almost not even hitting the blade to stop it. Anyways, I've just got that there. I don't know where it came from. It could have been like a $2 knife or something. I just picked it up. I got a few more. This was my dad's knife. He used to take to work with him. He used to eat grapefruits with it and everything, and I don't know how long he had it. He probably had it since he was a kid or something. And the blade, you see the blade's been sharpened quite a bit. And it's still a decent knife. I mean, it's wobbly because it's been used for like damn near probably 70 years. And there's the markings on it. It was a decent knife for its day. It's still pretty cool. I just have a few more here. And this one, I can't remember. This was just like in a pile of parts or nuts and bolts or parts or something like that. And it's got metal scales on it. Just real cheap. Here's the on the shank there, you can read a name. Usually if they have something written on there, like on this part right here, they're usually a decent knife, because when they're cheap and they're like really cheap knives, they just don't take the time to put anything on there. And also the older knives usually always have something on there, because like it meant something back then, I guess. There's another one of these, there's nothing on it. And then this one, just a duck. Yeah, I guess it's a duck. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't a loon, and then it's just a little keychain type knife. People hang them off the like rearview mirror of their car or whatever type of thing. Another one of these. This one, it's really no different than the plastic ones, the ones with the plastic scales on them. It's just that I guess they figured at some point it was time to upgrade from the plastic scales, and I think this was like a Gillette. It came with a Gillette shaving set or something. I've got probably a couple of them laying around, but that's this one. It's no, I wouldn't say it's any better or worse than the old ones. And I got one more. And this one, it's got the Swiss thing on it, but I'm not sure. It's just one of those promotional ones. See what it says on it. Yeah, it does say Swiss. So this one, I guess, is an actual Swiss Army knife, or not army knife, but a Swiss-made knife. You can read it on there, Switzerland. That's pretty cool. And it was in my, I think a lot my grandpa had. So that's actually a decent knife out of all of them, and it came in a little pouch. So anyways, that's just my little collection here. I didn't want it to go on too long, but anyways, thank you for watching, especially if you sticked around this long. Thanks.